Ladies and gentlemen, join me on Christmas Eve for a two-part special on The Sofa with Esther, 8 p.m. GMT, 3 p.m. EST and 12 p.m. PST. In the first half, I talked to Shelly Clark from Hoey Cone about their USA 2024 tour. And in the second half, I will be interviewed by Carrie Brown about my meet and greet Las Vegas tour.
Young man, single and free.
Welcome.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay, yeah, and I'm loving the hat,
okay.
Loving the glasses, loving the whole look, Shelly.
Bracelets. Gotta get the jewelry. I like your jewelry,
Okay.
by the way.
Well, whilst you're at it, show me the boots. Have you got the boots to match?
I do, but they're upstairs. Well, you know how it is on Zoom. You just dress from the waist up. You know. You don't want to see the rest of me. but here's the rest of the outfit. It has a little belt.
Oh, that is so cute. I'll call you Mrs. Claus or Mrs.
Claus. That's me. That's me, Mrs. Claus. Oh man.
Well, welcome onto my show On the Sofa with Esther. And today I have the absolute pleasure of talking to Shelly Clark. And Shelly is from the Hoey Cone, and they are on tour. They are going on tour at they said 80. Are you sure it's 80? Maybe I'm having that moment of seniority as well, 80.
I am actually 70, but I'm gonna be 77. So I'm not too far from 80. That's what you meant, right?
Yeah, that's what I saw in the brief. Okay, wow.
You know what? They have it a little messed up online, but I am actually the youngest one in the original group, and now I'm the oldest one in the new group.
Oh, fantastic. Well, this is going to be an incredible interview because not only is there so much history, but also you just bring such a beautiful vibe to the platform. Even just showing up on my show, already dressed as Mrs. Santa Claus, and that's fine.
That would be me. What time is it where you are?
It is now 8:30. 8:30.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But let's get on with this conversation with you, Shelly. I like to ask my guests in a nutshell, in a peanut shell, or even you look like a crab shell, Shelly. Who is Shelly Clark?
Who did you say? Who?
Who? Yes.
Well, Shelly Clark started off as a child star in New York, and I was probably one of the few kids that played on Broadway. I did a Broadway musical with Pearl Bailey for 7 months. I was the youngest child to perform at the Apollo Theater, and we did a regular stint. 4 shows a day and 5 on the weekend. I had a brother that I performed with, and we were, for lack of a better word, we were phenomenal. And we did routines like they're doing on Dancing with the Stars.
Mm-hmm.
We did routines like that at 6, 7, and 8 years old. That was due to my father, who was a self-taught performer from Barbados, and he noticed it. Yes. Where are you from?
My parents are from Barbados. High five.
No, oh my, high five. 2 and 3 snaps. And so then the talent that's out of there. And so my mother's a Russian Jew, and she was a concert pianist. And so the two of them got married in the 40s when it was illegal, but they produced these 2 children that we just came. My mother said that I had perfect pitch at 2 years old, so they hurried up and started doing shows, put in little pageants, and it morphed into me touring with Cab Calloway and where I got to meet, Nat King Cole and Lena Horne and so many celebrities as a child. So, I had a lot thrown at me when I was young. I grew up quick. Uh, After the cute era wore off in New York,
Uh-huh.
that cutesy era that all child entertainers go through, Shirley Temple, Natalie Woods, a lot of times you can't recover. And so we figured we'd done enough in New York, and the whole family moved to California. And my brother and I were having harder time getting a career going as a duo. So we just sort of split, and I started singing more than dancing, and was fortunate to get a scholarship to USC where I studied opera. And from there, I somehow got into a group called Willis, Matthews, and Clark. And oh, did I miss the Tina Turner era, or am I coming up
Did
on that?
well, there's Tina Turner, and then there's Little Richard as well, and there's
Yes.
so many others that influenced that was so a part of your journey. But before we head there, I'd like to ask, you've been in the industry for a very long time, very
Yes.
long time. Does it still, I mean, at each phase of our lives, things change, we see things differently. But for you, what has been the mainstay, do you feel, from a child to now? What is it? Is it the excitement, the curiosity about being in the industry, the maybe the way that you perform? What has been the mainstay throughout, if that?
I think, and I don't know if this is with most entertainers, but we live to perform, we live to please the people, we live to for the applause. It's kind of cheesy to say, but it's the truth.
Well,
We live for
you're on my
the
show with
approval.
a Santa outfit, so
We live to make people happy, I think. And if you know you're doing well, the audience will always let you know, and it gives you the excitement. You want to keep going, and you want to just keep bringing it. And I'm fortunate to be married to this guy, and they, although I have to say we had gold records before them.
whatever, Shelley. Let's not. There's no competition, Shelley.
And we got
Burning
signed
like
in
a perfect
19
fire.
we got signed in 1968. So we were cranking out the hits. We had hit records and all of that way before Earth Wind. But so we both had this longevity that and I really bite off of his ongoing, excitement also in the industry. It keeps both of us, and then we just sort of feed off each other that way. And I think it keeps me motivated. I love helping, other groups, other women, because of course, our lyrics are very powerful. So
Yeah,
I want to say that we kicked off the empowerment uh, era back in the 70s. We were the ones singing about
group.
don't
Yes.
right don't wait for him to come home. You don't have to, one monkey don't stop no show, all those all those crazy lyrics. But I want to think that the women loved it, and they actually got it, and we improved a lot of lives.
And also, you had a way of dressing. Lots of the female groups at the time had a certain, classy, elegant way, but you guys came with a sexiness and a sassiness that, for its time, might not have fit in, but you did it anyway. And I guess that also feeds into the theme that you were speaking and singing about at the time of this women's empowerment and not being sort of in the mold. Is that right, Shelley?
Yeah, I want to say that I think we were pretty fearless, especially with wardrobe. As you know, we were the first. I know people get tired of hearing this, but here I go again. We were the first artists on Soul Train. That was a big show here. And I'm pretty sure you know about it too with Don
Yes,
Cornelius. We were the
good.
first
Yeah.
artists. And when I'm getting back to wardrobe, because when I showed up, Don Cornelius and the producer said, "You can't go on daytime TV wearing that."
Mm.
And I had a dress, and it sort of plunged down to the navel. And like I said, we were fashion forward. A lot of it was due to the soprano in our group, Carolyn Willis. She made her own clothes, but she also said, we don't have to dress like the Supremes. We don't need gowns and gloves. We can stretch out a little bit. And that's exactly what we did. And I was just glad that they let us, because, in those days you had to do what your record company told you to do. And, sometimes they got a little bit annoyed with us, but we just followed,
You
we
walked your
followed our
talk.
heart.
Yeah, and you walked your talk. And now all this time later, you are going on tour, Shelley. Tell us a little bit more about that, and why now? There doesn't have to be a particular reason, because I'm realizing that because you guys are out of the box, asking any sort of question, I'm not going to get a standard answer, but why now?
Well, we have, I started the legendary Honey Cone on social media. We're also on Instagram as official Honey Cone. We're also on Twitter. And we just noticed that the people keep saying, where are you girls? You're still great. Are you going to come here? Are you going to come to the UK? Are you coming? Where can we see you? And we spent great time in Germany as an original group. And I think that the music is still out there, and it's people still want to see us. So you
We
sort of
love
have
old
to.
school out here, Shelley, in the UK. So, when you're coming over, let me know. I'll bring myself an elf outfit to join you.
Hey, for the elves. And we're sort of still putting things together. Our manager, Chris Rowe, has been speaking with promoters all over. And when the dates become known and available, they will be on our website, which is honeycone.biz. And then you click on tour.
Excellent, excellent. And is there anything new that you're going to surprise us with, Shelley?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, you see that smile?
Definitely. We are in the studio, and we're cranking out new music all the time, and so we're launching some things. That can't talk too much about it now, but we are launching uh, an EP and some things next year. So 2024 will be the year that we get cranked up. We've been doing some great things now up until now, because with the new group we've been together, I want to say at least 7 years, where we were on the Soul Train cruise, and we performed in Atlantic City, and we performed in the Poconos. We go wherever they want us, but this new tour will just take us hopefully from city to city.
And
So
how are you?
that'll be next year.
Brilliant. Sorry to butt in there.
That's
But
okay.
also, how are you managing? I remember when I interviewed the 3 Degrees. Oh, you don't mind me mentioning the 3 Degrees? Couple of
No,
years
we
ago.
love them, and I think they do Europe a lot. Is that correct?
They do, yeah. They're currently I believe they've just finished a 60-year celebrated 60-year anniversary in the UK. I didn't get to meet them this time, but I was with them last year. But I had interviewed them last year, and we were just joking about, as the older you get, singing and trying to keep up with the moves and the choreography, it gets a little taxing as well. How is it for yourselves?
Well,
Just one of those side things.
we have a wonderful choreographer. His name is Darian Henning, and we have been working with him. As a matter of fact, he was the one that took our stage show up to such a higher level, because you don't know what you're capable of, right?
Absolutely.
Until you try it. Someone has to sort of push the envelope for you to say, oh yes, you can. I don't care what age you are. If you do a certain movement, you don't have to be, but we're all over the stage all the time. But I mean, if you do certain movements, you don't have to, all single ladies, you can do some iconic moves that which is what happened for us. He bumped our stage game up to the 9th degree, and we are happy for him. He's worked with Justin Bieber, he's all over the place, but we I think that me coming from Tina Turner as an Ikette, you're gonna always hold on to things that you've done before. So you know, as a matter of fact, we have added, which next year we're going to put it in our show. We have added a full Tina Turner medley. And so we're going to be moving around and dancing around. If you've ever seen Ikettes, that'll be honeycomb slash I get honey cats. so so yes, choreography is very important. Even Earth, Wind and Fire, they do a lot, and people go, wow, they sing, they play, they move and sync. uh it's necessary because
Yeah.
people want
And
to
it's a
people want to
learned
see a
thing.
show.
Yes, absolutely. And it's something that's learned, it's something that's inbuilt, that's something that's naturally in your cells by this time. And it's showmanship, it's entertainment, it's all of those things put into one. I like your nails, by the way.
Oh, thank you. You know, we have a photo shoot coming up on Monday,
Okay.
and it's going to be with a great photographer named Bart Mastronardi, and he's done some fantastic work, and we're looking forward to it. We had to pick out 6 different looks, so I did the nails in, you know, silver and gold to sort of go along with the looks that we have. You know, we Tina Turner look and a what do you call it? High-low gowns, different colors, and we have a one ads print dress that we're doing. So, you know, like a newspaper. So
Okay. Oh, very, very eccentric, as they say, very
yes,
eccentric.
yes.
Absolutely. And just share a little bit about your time with little Richie.
Oh, what a funny guy. I mean, if you ever saw any of his interviews,
I
you
have.
know his
Yeah,
personality is through the
yeah.
roof. And this guy was probably the first to cross over to a white crowd, and he helped the Beatles get their career going. I mean, I think everybody stole what they could, including Tina Turner,
Mm,
from Little Richard because he was just that kind of guy. I mean, he started the look before Prince, right? Before
mm,
Michael Jackson, right? Before Boy George. There was Little Richard, and traveling with him was amazing. I used to open the show as a dancer for him, but I would always beg him, "Come on, Richard, let me sing," and he would just go, maybe next week, Shirley. I have to think about it because he couldn't say my name. He's a Southern boy, you know. But so funny traveling with him. He's a stand-up comedian. This guy was hilarious. So I mean, I learned a lot from him and Tina. And those artists in back in the day, we stand on the shoulders of because they were James Brown. They had the moves, they had the excitement. Little Richard was dancing on pianos, and you always come away with something. You know,
mhm,
with Tina, she danced your ass right off the stage. If you weren't careful,
mm.
you had to keep a distance from her because she was a powerhouse in to herself. Richard, the same thing. These performers were just such visionaries, and they saw where music was going, and entertainment. Let me say that they saw that you had to entertain.
Mm.
So I'm glad I picked up a lot of that because, you know, that's our guy.
Excellent. And I'm going to wind down shortly, but what I also get about Tina and Little Richard and yourself is this whole thing of your own individual identity. You've really carved that out, and it's quite clear talking to you. I mean, like I said, for you to sit down here, and you're in your in this setup, it's you're comfortable with who you are and you enjoy who you are, and Little Richard was clearly all of that. This is me, and his flamboyancy and just sort of expression and creativity. So that's
Right, right.
yeah, absolutely. And sort of winding down, Shelley, for I usually like to ask, for anybody who's sitting on the fence at this moment in time, who want to step into their dreams, who want to do something that they love, what is that piece of advice that you would give them?
Well, I mean, I would always say to surround yourself with the yay sayers and not the naysayers, because it's so quick for someone to say, "Oh man, that's the off the charts. You'll never get that happening." Well, how do you plan to see that through? And sometimes a little doubt will one
Oh,
seed of it will ruin all your plans. So I mean, I had great cheerleaders around me. I had my mother. I had my brother. I had friends that would just say, Shelly, just do it. Yeah, it may sound over the top to some people, but if you're sitting on the fence, as you say, take a leap of faith.
mm,
And you never know. You never know what you can do until you get in there, get in the trenches, right? You get in
that's
there, watch everything that's going around you, and if it doesn't work one way, you try it another way. And sometimes these dreams are outrageous. I remember my brother-in-law, Maurice White, he was coming out of the Ramsey Lewis trio, and he told Ramsey, I'm quitting the group. Ramsey said, what? It doesn't get any better than this. I'm famous worldwide. What are you going to do? Maurice said, I'm going to start my own band. I'm going to have 9 people, and we're going to fly through the air. We're going to wear robes. We're going to go to Egypt. And Ramsey said, man, go home and take an aspirin and go lay down. But Maurice was the type, and you got to be that way. You just have to push through and say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It sounds crazy, but I'm going to do it. And so that's what I would have to say, to people who are trying to find their way. Just, what is Nike? Just do it.
just do it. That's right.
Just do it.
Excellent. Well, this has been a real pleasure. It's been a real joy talking to you. I love your energy. I love your vibe. I'm looking forward to, if I don't see you in the UK, I got to fly out to the US to see the honeycomb. Yeah, it's just been a real pleasure, Shelly. So thank you for your time. Thank you for what you gift to the world as well. Wishing you many, many more years of success.
Thank you. And thank you for having me. We love Europe. So tell the promoters we're ready.
Okay, you got my number. Or they got my
Oh, yeah,
number.
I know, right? I got your number. I got your number. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you so
take
much for
care.
having me. All right. Take
Right,
care.
bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Somebody's gonna take